Alright, I think before it quit, we'll call this part 2. I've got a mall cylinder right here. I used this and checked all the holes to make sure everything was good. The block was squared away for 92 cylinders that I was going to be putting on here, and that mall fit. These are AA piston cylinders. It really shouldn't matter because everybody should make them to basically the same spec. Anyway, as you can see, the issue is with the block. This side, they slipped all the way down. This side, they did not slip all the way down. One other thing I want to point out, another reason I'm doing all 4 cylinders, measuring the deck height instead of just one on each side. See if I can get in here close. See, the deck on that has not been messed with. Okay? Look at the deck on this side. Now that polishing work is me because a bunch of these case savers had pulled out, and so when I Loctited them back in, I went through with my little sander and sanded the top of them down. Anyhow, I don't know if you can see that ridge. You can see that ridge going around there. Somebody has decked the top of this block, and that's down. Well, it's down a fair amount. So now, if it wouldn't have been decked, it still wouldn't have went down deep enough. Anyhow, so that's where we're at on that. Alright, so let me get this back up here. We will continue with number 2 here. Alright, flip that back over. Alright. So what I'm going to have to do, since I got this all set up, we're going to do the deck height on 2. I'm going to write them down. I'm going to do this on the side. You probably aren't going to be able to see it. Alright, so I got that locked. Alright, so yeah, they have cylinder stops, piston stops, so forth. I just take it, and I take her and I rock it right in there. I look at my mark, check my mark. That's top dead center. Double check it. Like it's about 2 degrees off, according to my eye watching this. Alright, now, set this bad boy on here. Okay, I just hold her down. Right there. We lock it. That is, see, we turn zeros right there, 5, 10, not quite 15. Oh, better grab my glasses. I'm not even 50 yet, I'm already on my glasses. Alright, so, of course, if you know how to read a mic, in between every number there's 3 slashes. It's a quarter, 50, 75, and then your whole number. Okay, see, we are not quite to the first one, so we don't 25 and plus. We're going to be under 25. So that is 12, not quite 13. And some of these have another hash set up. We're going to call that about 12.5 thousandths, according to this depth mic. In case you didn't actually see the whole thing. Protrudes out of the bottom right there. There's adapters you can screw on to make these real long, so if we wanted to check the bottom of the stroke, we could. Anyhow, so we got that. Now, I was playing with this earlier, This, my brace I made for this, there's no telling if that is dead straight or not. Could be bowed up, could be bowed down, don't know. But this is a, I don't know if it'll focus or show, 20,000 spieler gauge. 20,000 spieler gauge. And that, of course I'm pushing, had to go right up under there. I had to force it. Now, what did we say, 12 and a half? Okay, so here's a 12, and here's a 13. And that 12 goes right in, that 13 goes right in. Let's jump up to 16. Just out of curiosity. See now the 16 goes right in. Like I say, the 20 went in with quite a bit of force. So we could go, let's go with an 18 just out of curiosity. I had to force the 20. The 18 goes in with a little bit there, but I tell you what, using that is more accurate than this on measuring stuff like that. So see, we're going to go 12 and a half thousandths. That's what I said. 12 and a half thousandths. And add it on number 1. So we go. I'll back this up. Back over here on my paper. I can do this without screwing everything up. Okay, I got my compression sheet on my cylinders laid out. That way I can do my math for each cylinder in here. Alright, so I said 12 and a half, right? 0, 12, and then what I do is I do it like that with an underline. So I know it's 12 thousandths and then a half, because that number really, at this point it's kind of irrelevant, because I can run the math with or without that, and I can leave it at 12, or I can bump it up to 13. It's kind of however you want to do it. But anyhow, I'll do it this way. I can run all my numbers as to whether I want, I can run it with a 20,000 shim, do my math, so I can figure out what kind of compression that we're going to run in this. Now, I had cylinder shims. I had 60 thousandths in there before. And with the other block at 60 thousandths, where'd my other sheet go? See, like I did it on here. See, because I run it one way, it was 8.9. I ran it another way, it was 9.3. See, and that was converting my numbers to metric. 2.5, there's a half mil, 1 mil, 2 mil, 2.5. It was a lot of chicken scratch, and looking at it this way, I could get, if I didn't draw lines and block it, I would get confused as to what was what. Anyhow, so that's why I decided to do a layout like this. That way I know exactly what each cylinder is, and I can adjust accordingly, even though they all should be the same. But alright, well I guess that's it. It is, it's hot. I had to shut the fan off, the big fan, so you could hear me. So anyway, it is a very hot and humid day. So I think we'll just close it with that.